today we're going to be working on some assembly on the Rabbit diesel, turbo diesel engine. This has been an ongoing project that I've had for many years. I'm excited about it today because just got the block back from the machine shop, all nice and fresh. Pistons today, bottom end. We're just in my actual garage today. Yeah, this is kind of my little humble abode here. This isn't really the ideal cleanliness to build an engine in, but if you pay attention and do a good job, as long as you just take your time and make sure everything's right, that sort of thing. Well, the Rabbit is a bunch of different things. I bought it originally. I actually traded it for a horse and blew up the engine on a road trip. It sat around for a while, and it's kind of hard to find parts of the turbo diesel block. Kind of a unicorn, as they say. It has special provisions, including bigger head bolts than non-turbo engines, oil squirters for the bottom sides of the piston. We have basically most of the engine besides that is the same as it Rated Brothers. Even a lot of the parts are universal for the gassers as well, including the crankshaft is the same, connecting rods are the same. Pistons is where it really varies because of the violent compression and glow plugs. So I already smashed one of the rings on that. So I gotta
smashed it?
Yeah.
Could you spread it apart, or is it all just like, is it like factory, like precisely?
Well, and it's cracked all the way through.
Oh, is it?
There, see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's right here. And if you spread this ring at all, this is gonna break. So, need a new ring.
You think they have any at a hardware store?
Yeah, I'm sure they carry Rabbit rings for the turbo diesel at the hardware store.
Maybe.
Definitely not.
For leaking oil everywhere.
Wait, the Rabbit got kicked out, right?
Yeah.
Twice in one day.
Yeah, that's hilarious, huh?
Yeah.
Boom. Man, these clips are a pain to get in, but you don't want them falling out, that's for sure. Get in there. Oil squirter right here. So
some of them have 980
here, squirts up into the underside of the piston to keep it cool. I like to put it so the journal is at the lowest part of its travel, which is called bottom dead center. So when you have this rod will move all the way down, and it's easiest to put on the cap that goes on the other half, rod half slides on here, so you just have more room to kind of stare at it and make sure everything the way you want it to be before you tighten her down. So that's my thought process there. Lube up the piston rings here. Want to make sure we got no dry spots. When this old girl finally bursts back to life, I'm gonna have to figure something out for when to start this thing, you know? See how they're not moving really by themselves anymore? That means you're getting oil lubricant in every orifice down into these little sleeves, these little grooves, which is good. That's what you want. You want oil coverage everywhere. You don't want these rings to be dry, especially at the beginning, because it is literally metal on metal. How do you do a compression check?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked, Shrimp. So it's a measurement of the measurement in PSI pressure. And I'm not very good at working and talking.
I am not either, don't worry.
In a gasoline engine, you would use a pressurized hose, or a hose that can take, I'll just show you in a second. Let's make sure we got there. That's nice and smooth. I'm just not letting it go down all the way. There, that's better.
Do you need your whacker tool?
That's just squeezing this piece of wrapped metal against the piston. Make sure the rings don't get smashed on their way by the top surface of the engine block. That seems like it's, oh yeah, I can already tell that that's mint.
How can you tell that you broke that last one?
Well, it just had some resistance, and I put it down in the hole a tiny bit, and it just maimed the silky wall.
Just making the sun a little bit better. So it's not doing so much.
Well, here's a representation of it here. This journal here is a mirror image of this one. So what I just did is brought the connecting rod, it slid in through here and halved right here. So when I push this all the way down onto here, it's gonna there. Now it's fully seated, and we don't even really have to worry about it being not fully seated, because we install this other half. It's going to, when we put this on, it's just gonna suck these two ends together. This is called assembly lube. It makes sure just creates a coating on all the metal to metal surfaces so that there aren't any dry spots. Ugh, it's so boring. What I'm putting on here is assembly lube for the bolts. It just lubricates the fasteners to give you a more accurate torque measurement when you're torquing down torquing down the nuts. What that's gonna do is every bolt, there's different sizes of bolts all over. This bolt here is a different size than this bolt here. So because of the size, this bolt is going to be able to be torqued down to a higher number than these bolts because they're smaller. Because of that, there's going to be a different number foot-pounds tightness for this bolt than there will be on this bolt. So this one was 48 foot-pounds, and these ones are going to be 35. So I'm going to put in that number in here on our handy dandy torque wrench, and then we're gonna give her the old cinchola here, back and forth, not putting too much on one and not the other. You want even coverage all the way down. See how when I tighten this one, come over here, and this one's still tight. That's kind of what you want. You don't want to tighten it down a bunch and then one be free. See, this one was starting to be free. You just want to make sure you tighten it down evenly so you're not, this is the journal, if this is the rod end, you don't want to be cocked this way, one way or the other when you tighten it down, because you don't want to scar this surface. You can damage them very easily, is what I'm trying to say. Coming up on that number now, they're starting to actually get tight. Back and forth. There's 35 on that side. Then you want to go back, check the other one, right on the money. money. Perfect. That's a good. And then if I wouldn't have broke that other piston ring, we'd be basically all done with the rotating assembly. At least this portion of it. There is remarkable organization in the behind the scenes. It looks like a complete mess in here,
He knows where everything is.
but I am looking for a part that I forgot where I put it.
What part are you looking for?
This is the cover for the intermediate shaft. It's basically a housing for the seal.